a chance of light snow tonight, tomorrow. I figured I'd hook the plow up and take a ride with these Hikari LED headlight bulbs. I hadn't really gone anywhere with them yet. They seem to be pretty good. Nice full light, and it's actually more to the sides than what the halogen was. Also, got quite a bit better side lighting going on. Sorry for the camera bouncing all around, but that's high beam. It's low beam. Like I say, you can see the periphery is really good, and also there's no warning lights or anything like that, so they seem to be working pretty good so far. I like it. It's that nice crisp white light. Now, like, I've heard a few people mention about the temperature of the LEDs running so much lower, having some ice build up on the lenses, which I'm kind of wondering about because we do get quite a bit of freezing rain here. You can see it's lighting up the street signs, which all LEDs, even a small headlamp does, but a really pretty great distance, which, I mean, that's great in a storm. Well, that's interesting too, to see what the there's one customer of mine, driveway right there, stakes. It'll be interesting to see what this does, you know, possibly in the snow, flying for snow glare, because there's been times when it's like road travel is almost impossible due to visibility with any lights, halogen or otherwise, but I wonder if these will be better or worse. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually create a bit more glare off the snow. Seem to be working well in these Fisher intensifier headlights. I mean, they're acceptable with the stock, but that's about it. I never felt like, I mean, I literally felt like I was somewhat light starved. At high beam, it would miss. That's another thing. This is high beam, and you see it's right to the edge of the plow. I'm sure I do have like archived video with the other headlights, but at high beam with the halogens, I would be like reaching for low beam just to fill in that lower space, because it would be so much starved for light so close to the vehicle to see detail of what I was doing. I mean, you could see, but you couldn't see it great. It wasn't lit up. That whole pocket corner right there closest to the blade was not lit up, and it is now, so that's good. I think where the spectrum's different, that center glow might be not as intense at distance as the halogens, but it might be a acceptable compromise because I never drive at any amount of speed, and generally the visibility is poor anyway when I'm actually operating the plow and, you know, plowing driveways. So it's more filled in closer to the truck, as I was pointing out. It may not be as filled in as far out as the halogens there. Phone call, decline that, but no, like I say, you can see the signs are all lit up. Oh, see, it's worth taking a ride up here. I didn't know they ripped this up. That would be nice to hit in the snow. They did have a bump sign on it anyway. It's not even that bad. It's actually better than it was in the pavement. And that's one thing, like, we had some big rainstorms last week, and I saw some driveways that started to wash out a little bit. So I decided to go look. I mean, not a little bit either, like trenched out, like almost a foot deep, to the point where if you had 6 or 8 inches of snow on that, you would you might not see it, and you fetch your plow up, might break something, or worse, be a deeper hole and catch a wheel or something. So I went and looked around at a couple driveways. One of my customers' driveways was washed out so bad they couldn't even get their four-wheel drive Jeep out of their driveway to the main road. It was washed out over 3 feet deep. So, and I found some trees down in some other driveways, and some of the homes that I do are second homes or summer homes for people, so there's no one there, but they'll still be heated with fuel trucks and stuff. So I didn't get paid to go check on places, but I think the customers really appreciate it, and it's actually led to not just that, but just plowing in general has led to some more than just snow plowing, some summer work, landscaping, groundskeeping, caretaking for the property type thing. And this is a good spot to try these because there's no street lights. That's a little something. Wow, that's serious. That's nice. Yeah, I had a chance to put a light bar on my headache rack the other day, and I haven't gone over that yet, but I'm going to. I guess I didn't really need to put these. Geez, they ripped that one up too. I guess I didn't really need to put these LED headlight bulbs in, but I think I like them. But yeah, one of the customers, I was back to talking about that, one of the customers, they would just, I texted him to let him know that there was trees down blocking the driveway, and it's like a 3/4 of a mile long driveway, and I didn't know. I knew he wasn't here, but he said that they were flying in the next night, and they were going to be driving down in there at 9 p.m. So, let's turn around here. So I think they appreciated, I mean, that shows more value than just being the snowplow man that they were planning on, unbeknownst to me, coming in at 9 p.m. the following evening after that big windstorm, and that would not have been very nice if they had driven all the way down in there in a dark road in Maine. That there's only one place to turn around on a 3/4 mile long driveway, and found a tree across the whole road. They wouldn't even been able to get to their house. So there's other ways you can be helpful too, kind of looking out for things like that you see with people's property. I always, those other like summer homes that aren't occupied right now, I'll pay attention to see if there's any windows damaged or anything, because being on the coast we have quite a bit of wind lots of times. We've had a lot of tree damage this year, like you saw in one of those other videos. My car wasn't the only one. There was a lot of vehicles that were damaged by falling trees and limbs. It's cool, you can't see it right now, but this is an organic farm here on the left, and they've got a it's not that big, but they've got a windmill for power generating. It's right up there, you can sort of see it. I like stuff like that, but I plow this road. Should go check that out. That goes down in over this really steep, basically cliff down to this lake. I get all the nice ones that are super steep. That's my specialty. No one else wants to touch them. That's actually true, and I charge a premium for the driveways being technical because it's more of a risk. It's harder on equipment, and but lots of times it might work out too. It's more of a risk for me, but if we get a light snowfall, these really steep technical driveways will require attention, whereas other driveways and lots won't. Now this is the beginning of the nightmare right here. Is like, yeah, it looks nice, but right at the steepest part is these two large ash trees that are really narrow. When you're trying to wing the snow back so you can have, because I mean the road, it doesn't look like it, but the road goes farther out than those trees. You can see like it's dropping right away from the headlights. The camera doesn't really show. I mean, that's just gone in front of the truck. That's like really down. So right at these trees, the snow bottlenecks up, and then it's just down over this edge. And it's basically gravity plowing. I barely ever plow, just a little bit of winging back on the way up because I don't really want to work the transmission that hard, but sometimes it's a challenge just to get back up over that hill there. This reminds me, should replace, see there's a marker stake down there. See what we have here, this is kind of a nightmare scenario. That's a ledge that sticks out on the right where that marker is, right, and the whole road has been carved to the left around it. Well, I had never really noticed they had a blowdown or something. It leaned on the left right there, and it leaned a stump half into the road. I had that marker stake on there, which I had never marked. It had never been that close before on the left. I'd only marked the ledge on the right, had never marked that on the left. Came down one day, and the stake was broken off, and I thought to myself, I didn't do that. Get down there, and the homeowner had tried to come flying up out of here. He's an older gentleman, and he said his windshields and stuff weren't clear, and he had heavily favored around the ledge there, down there, and he got over here and clipped that stump with his vehicle. Of course, it was covered in snow, but that's what broke my stake off. I mean, there's not much I can do about that. I had marked it. So that didn't happen to me, because that's a mean stump. So I'm going to get out and remark that. See, this is just out here testing these headlights. And I'm not disturbing anyone. This is a seasonal property. The driveway is almost, you know, it's over 3/4 of a mile long, this one here. And so sometimes it pays off to check this stuff out. I had repositioned that marker, but now because he snapped it off, the snow's melted and it's fallen over. The ground's frozen, so I don't really even know how I can get it to stay. Let's try it. E-brake. This hill, you can see it, so it goes right down and there. Let's put some light on the subject. Yeah, look, there's pieces of his vehicle there. We're missing a pretty big storm right now. It's going offshore. Yeah, it's gonna have to work. I was thinking that was just those Hikari lights, but a little more than that. Alright, well, I've got to go do a snow dance or something. Just hope we get, they're calling for 1 to 3 inches. If we get 3 inches, I'll have to do several of these residentials and definitely the commercials, but who knows? If we get 1 inch, it won't be anything. Bye.